Good morning. This is Ronell Nolan, who's not supposed to be here, but just walked in the office. Your CEO of HAFA. And I have to honestly say that there's probably steam coming out of my head right now. Um, as y'all know, I fight for agents day and night, and just left a meeting at our Department of Insurance in Louisiana, and was basically told by one of their attorneys that we didn't need to charge an agency fee because agents and brokers really didn't do anything on the exchange. That maybe off exchange you deserved a fee, but not on exchange, which of course I said, I absolutely have to disagree with you, and I would like to sit down with you and possibly school you on exactly what an agent does, which the Commissioner of Insurance said that really wasn't necessary. So at this point, I'm not really sure how I'm going to proceed with that, but I can tell you that I'm very angry, and I think it's about time that our state and our federal got either a YouTube video or a brochure about the value of the agent and exactly step by step what we do. I can't tell you how mad I am. On a good note, the first thing that happened was I got a USA Today sent to me that I was actually quoted in the USA Today HAFA, so that was a pleasant surprise before I went and got very angry. But I'm going to turn it over to our think tank chairman, Ms. Bridget Rushing-Sneed, who is licensed in Louisiana and Mississippi. Housekeeping rules for those that are new. You're going to remain on mute. If you'd like to raise your hand to comment, just raise your hand, or if you'd like to post a question, I'll be answering the questions in the question pane as Bridget continues to run the meeting. So, Bridget, thanks for being here.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. One little item is I will be accepting agenda items. Just email them to myself. My email is provided, or of course Ronell, prior to the meeting, and we'll try to get it on the agenda. Anything that you're really interested in chatting about. Okay, first up, the Employer Healthcare Conference, Day on the Hill, powered by HAFA. Overview by Trish, Heather Stone, and Christine. Is Trish on the call?
Oops. Trish needs to be to enter her PIN.
Okay, we'll give her a couple minutes because she's going to give us an overview on that.
And Chris, where there she goes.
There she is. We're going to open up Trish's mic. Here's Trish.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me?
Trish?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Okay, so look, yes, I did. I mean, I can. So I literally just logged on. Am I supposed to talk about something real quick?
Conference, Day on the Hill. Yes, on the Employer Healthcare Conference, Day on the Hill.
Okay, so we had a wonderful, incredible time. Ronell did an amazing job leading our group. It was kind of crazy and insane. I think we ended up having about 10 people figure out that they weren't in the right place, and then we had a couple of people drop out. So Ronell was juggling things back and forth and moving people around, and we stayed up super late the night before, but we got it all done. We met with New York, Georgia, Colorado, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, too many that to name. I don't even remember who all we met with, but it was an absolute incredible time. We got our message across that agents are needed. Over and over, we were told, of course, that, until there's a new president, healthcare is kind of dead at the moment, but we do plan on going back after the election to reiterate our point. We did have an incredible meeting with Dean from the marketplace. It was very surreal to hear out of his mouth that for the first 2 years of healthcare.gov, trying to get rid of agents and brokers. So, over and over we just kind of explained, that not all agents are bad. One of the things that I said over and over to him is that the only phone call that you will ever get is a negative phone call. My 1,000 clients that I have aren't going to call you and tell you how great I am. They only call people or only talk about things when there's a problem. So, I understand. I kind of get it that all you hear is negative about the agents and brokers, but there really are good people out there who want to help their clients. So, he's just one person. I feel like he understands and believes in agents. I think he will try to help us. At least now we have a connection, and we're starting to build a relationship with him. So they are supposed to have a hotline strictly for agents and brokers to not just help with the technical issues that we have, but to actually solve problems. But one of the key pieces, and listen, I fail miserably at this, but things that we need for all agents and brokers to help us with is that when you run into a problem, you've got to document it and send it to Ronell so she can bring it to Dean. Because what happens is we sit here and gripe about it and fuss about it, and we don't have true documentation, so there's not really anything that we can actually bring to the marketplace. There's no evidence that we can bring to the marketplace. So that's pretty huge. If everybody on the call can start documenting, the name, well, he said not even the name of your client, but say, for example, the application number, the time that you called, the date, if there was a marketplace representative name that they actually gave you, go ahead and write that down too, and then the details of the problem. If you could send that to Ronell, that would be fantastic. I'm sure we're all going to start running into plenty of issues, so the more ammunition we can give her, the better it will be. So, and that's pretty much all I have.
Thank you, Trish. This is Ronell again. I do want to thank Heather Stone and Christine Hobb that was with us, along with the Employer Healthcare Congress that went with us on Day of the Hill. Trish did not mention that we met with Senator McCain, who was a total hoot. We enjoyed meeting with him. He cracked us up, and we took a picture with Barbara Boxer, who is a Democrat from Colorado. She kind of just stood in front of us. I'm not sure she really spoke to us, but that was monumental. But the biggest thing, I was waiting with her, waiting to get a picture, was Arthur Patterson. So for those that read his books, he was there to get a picture with Barbara Boxer too. So one more thing that that Trish did mention on the Dean issue is, as we receive your complaints, we're going to invoice those. So we'll keep them in a binder. Every one of your complaints will have an invoice, so we'll be able to go back and question, did you answer invoice 1, 2, 3, whatever. But because of privacy, we do not want any names of your clients. We simply want their application details. So I'm going to turn it back over to Bridget.
Okay, great information about the Capitol Day. So let's move on to CMS mapping concerns. CMS will be mapping your clients from plans that do not exist to other plans in the marketplace that may not include their physicians, meet their financial needs, nor that you are contracted with. Basically, with so many insurance companies exiting the marketplace, they're moving people to other plans that will not fit their needs. Ronell questioned the marketplace and was told that we should be contracted with everyone, which she explains the law doesn't does not require this. So basically, say I'm licensed with Blue Cross, but I'm not licensed with Vantage, which I am. But, you know, for argument's sake, say there's, you know, a plan out there and my clients, they switch my clients to a Vantage plan. Well, you're just not going to get paid. So this is a real issue that Ronell is chatting with the marketplace about. Also, HAFA is suggesting that clients touch all of your clients by phone calls, postcards, or postcards to suggest that they allow their professional to assist them with their changes. Very important, especially going into this open enrollment, because, you know, we've had one more carrier that's exited since last year. So you do need to get on top of that.
We have Dan that's on the call, and I'm not sure if Dan would like to say anything about this. It's been brought to us from Florida, from Patrick. We've been talking about it. However, he happened to send it to the USA Today this morning. The USA Today reached out to me to ask me about the mapping episode and if that was happening in all states, which I, of course, said yes. So, Dan, I'm going to unmute you. Would you like to say anything? Dan? Okay. We're going to assume Dan doesn't want to say anything at this time. If you do, Dan, just raise your hand.
Okay. Moving on. HAFA chairman of the board is Chris on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to defer this item. This was Chris Garrett was going to give us an overview of the past 2 years and what HAFA can do to improve our position. Next up, HAFA incoming chairman of the board, Angie Sura and Ronell met in D.C. this past week to discuss the upcoming year. And Angie's going to give an overview. Angie, are you on?
Yep.
Angie?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I am excited to be the incoming chairman of the board, or chairwoman of the board, I guess you could say. Ronell and I did have a chance to sit down together for a little bit in all the craziness of the Employer Health Care Benefits Congress. We talked a little bit about some of the things that we want to focus on this year, some new exciting marketing ideas, a little bit more in branding of HAFA, certainly getting more faith videos out there. And I apologize because my desk is a disaster and I can't find all of my notes of everything that we talked about, but we're going to be looking at scheduling some upcoming meetings so that we can get together either in person or on the phone and talk about some of the weaknesses maybe that we have that we want to try to improve and strengthen, certainly membership and everything that HAFA provides to our agents and brokers. We want to make sure that we're giving you as many tools as possible, and certainly looking at taking HAFA to the next level. I'm excited that I'm in Pennsylvania and Ronell's in Louisiana, and we're going to come together and just kind of bring it. There are so many issues and so many problems in the industry that our goal is to certainly enhance everything that HAFA has done so far, which has been a lifesaver, I know, for a lot of us when we first started dealing with healthcare reform. So we will be super excited to share with you a lot of goodies as they develop.
Great. Thank you so much, Angie. Next up, we have Vice Chair of Legislation, Jeff Miles. Jeff, are you on? Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Jeff. Hey.
Well, we're only a month away from the election now, maybe 5 weeks. And during the course of this next month or so, 5 weeks, really nothing's going to happen. legislatively. I think it's important for people in all the states to keep an eye on whether or not your state is starting a movement again for single payer. It appears as though there's 20 states who either are on board and building something to pass a law, or have ordered some sort of a study, or are looking at a special committee, but there's something like 20 states that now want to look at it. And you know, this doesn't surprise me when you see the failures in the marketplaces and the co-ops. It's no surprise that with costs continuing to spiral out of control, that states are saying maybe we should go single payer. A good friend of mine, also a HAFA member, has always said to me, he said they needed to have Obamacare in order to get to single payer. And that may very well be true, because now they can say, look, the private sector has failed. So, you know, based on what happens in the election, we should have a clearer picture about what we face in the fall after the first of the year and what our mission is going to be in Washington. We have to watch the composition of the Senate on election night. We have to closely watch the presidential race, and we'll just see where things land. But we will know sometime after Election Day what the landscape is going to look like, and that'll be the time for us to get all of our ledge team together and organize a plan. And I think that's about all I've got to say, but if you do have any information about a single payer scheme being floated in your state, any stories in the newspaper, if you could forward on a link, I'd like to start keeping sort of a little record of all of that sort of stuff. So if you see something in your local news about it, do me a favor and send me a link to it at jeff@milesorg.com. Ronell, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate your leadership for sure. I will say that being on the Hill and bringing Christine for the first time and not really knowing who was a Democrat and who was a Republican, about halfway through I quizzed her on who was who, depending on the way we were treated. And she pretty much nailed every one of them. It's a lot of tension up there. The congressman from New York, Congressman Engel, staff said that we are absolutely going to have a single payer. As soon as President Hillary is elected, there will be a single payer. So those things should scare you. The facts that Jeff just gave you should scare you, should concern you. Voting is not an option. Voting is important. And getting out and voting for the party that you think that agents and brokers can survive in. Fran Main from Virginia, from Maryland, Virginia, who was also with us in D.C., who came to eat dinner with us with Puerto Rico, said, how would they pay for a single payer? She heard that Hillary said they can't afford it. They just keep churning the money out. I think in one of the meetings that we were in, one of the staffers said, don't worry about it. We have plenty of money. And I just looked at them like they were crazy. The other thing that happened in Senator Bennett's office, Colorado Democrat, refused to take a picture with us. And I looked at her and I told her, I said, I want to let you know that agents and brokers are Republican, they're Democrat, they're independent, they're every color, they speak every language. And, you know, I just want you to know that. And she just kind of, you know, shook her head and went on. For some reason, those on the Hill think that we're people that do not work and are all of Republican stature. So with that, I will turn it back over to Bridget.
Okay, next up we have Vice Chair of Education, Sandy Davis. Is Sandy on here? No, okay. With Sandy, HAFA is working to set up meetings in different states to talk about the political climate of Washington and how that affects the role of the agent. If you are interested in HAFA coming to your state, please let HAFA and Sandy know so they can file those CE credits. HAFA is willing to travel and needs to grow our HAFA Army. We need agents in every state across the United States in order to make change. So it's very important that this gets out. Okay, Next up, we have Vice Chair Marketing and Membership, Angie Sura, and is she still on the line?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to turn it over to Angie. Give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead, Angie.
Okay, thanks, guys. So as current Vice Chair of Marketing and Membership, Ronell and I have gotten together recently on just a few different items that are of importance, and I believe she's posted them out on perhaps the Monday newsletter already for you guys. A couple new pieces for open enrollment, a couple postcard drafts that you can use to be sending out, because of course if you're not contacting your clients for renewal, you know the marketplace is, so we want to make sure that you get in there. Ronell has, of course, an awesome vendor who gives HAFA members a great discount. We can get him that draft of the postcard, your specific information, and he can give you the pricing idea and whatnot on getting those pieces made up. Now we did a postcard. If you would prefer a flyer or perhaps an email type of template, just let me know. I'm happy to do this for you. You can always email me at Angie, A-N-G-I-E, at hafaamerica.org. I will certainly be happy to do whatever I can. And of course, we put a faith video together that you guys please do share on social media that talks about open enrollment, what's going to happen, and the importance of finding a good agent, which all of our HAFA members are awesome agents, so we want to make sure to continue to brag you up and put it out there. So if for some reason you have any other ideas, you want Faith to say anything different, you think something may be beneficial, let us know. We're happy to create and do whatever you would like.
Thanks, Angie. One of the things that we're looking into is possibly creating a YouTube video that encourages consumers to call a HAFA agent. We're looking into the price of that, or if someone could do that for us, you know, without a cost. We're trying to see if there's something that we could use that y'all can use that, you know, says call us or whatever. The other thing that we're talking about and kind of kicking around is possibly me doing some blogging, some video blogging about what actually is happening in the marketplace, our importance. I know, you know, it's good if the USA Today or Wall Street Journal picks up on something, but this is something that needs to be in everyone's face every week. I'd encourage if you would like to help us and you would like to create a blog video, we would love to have your help. So get with Angie, and she can absolutely direct you in the right direction. And here is Bridget.
Okay. Next up, we have HAFA partners with the new Frontier Committee. Is Wes Fisher on the line? No. Okay. Wes is forming a committee to work toward creating a better relationship with agents, brokers, and insurance carriers. It's probably not going to be difficult if we only go to one. Insurance carriers need to understand our worth and the fact that they can have a better MLR result with the use of agents and brokers. To join this committee, just please reach out to Wes. I know he wants people on in as many as possible, so please reach out. Next up, the Agent Summit 2017. Time to save the date. HAFA has chosen Orlando for Agent Summit 2017, July 20th and 21st. This is a great opportunity to bring your family, and HAFA board member Wes Fisher and his staff has graciously offered to host. So go ahead and save that date. Okay, HAFA Pact, it's time to give. I'm the chairman of this one. Vice chair is Steve Cosby, and the secretary treasurer is Sandy Davis. It is so very important to give, give, give. We cannot get in front of these lawmakers without contributions. I can't stress enough on the state level. This gets us a foot in the door so Ronell can talk to these people and be heard. Is Steve on the line? No, Steve is not on the line. But I just want to urge everyone, the HAFA Pact is so very important. We're in a very political climate, and it is going to be imperative that we can get in front of these lawmakers next session. And either way the presidential election goes, we have got to be armed to get in front of these lawmakers. Next up, E&O carrier secured for HAFA. NAPA has a website specific for HAFA members. It has discount E&O, taxpayers E&O, completing the 1095A, B, and C. Web broker secured for HAFA, Health SERPA discount, $400, unlimited enrollment, and there's also a Rabbit app discount. Do we have any new ideas for a web broker? Okay, Ms. Rondell wants to say something. Hold on.
I just want to point out that NAPA, our new partnership for E&O, sent us a big envelope full of gift certificates for our agents that were affected by the flood. So not only have they joined hands with HAFA, they also have joined in giving to our members. So that's really a cool thing. And of course, the web broker, right around the corner, remember that you need to be re-certified. For those agents that already have been certified, there's a refresher course. It's really quick, it's really easy, but you need to go ahead and do it. The open enrollment is around the corner. And as Bridget said, please use the postcards, use a phone call, contact your clients, tell them that you can help them before the mapping happens, before they're put into another plan, before they call the marketplace and they're put into the wrong plan. You have to be the point of that they make the decisions. And please send me your thoughts about what I said in the beginning, that an agent and broker brings no value to the exchange market. I'd like to know your thoughts. It can be a 1-2 line sentence, but I'm going to put something together that will go out to everyone.
Okay. Next up, open mic. What do you need in your state? What would you like to see HAFA to address? What is the climate of your state? Do we have someone who wants to speak on this? Fran, Innovative Health just terminated all of their Georgia contracts. GA contracts for individual. They are partnered with Aetna. Innovation also limited the number of brokers they allow to sell their products to 170 brokers in the Virginia, D.C., and Maryland area. Hey, Greg, can we charge fees? Okay, wait. Have you seen the letter Humana is sending to non-renewals? It doesn't say contact your agent. It sends them the healthcare.gov web address. That's very sad. Okay.
So again, let me reiterate, the client is your client. I've had face-to-face fights with lobbyists at the Capitol that said the clients are theirs. The clients are yours. Take them back. Trump says take America back. I say take your client back. You've got to touch them. Don't let the marketplace touch them. Don't let the carriers touch them.
Okay. One issue I want to bring up for the state of Louisiana, in 2015, we had the marketplace that came in and stated they didn't get, I think, about 200,000 income verifications so people had their subsidy. What they ended up doing is at the end of July, they retroactively terminated all of those individuals to April 30th, 2015. Well, what has happened lately is all of those people that ended up were terminated but decided to pay the full premium for their health insurance without the subsidy. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana decided in July of 2016 to terminate all of those policies back to April 30th of 2015. So you may have clients out there that are wondering why they're all of a sudden getting phone calls from providers because anything that was paid has been taken back to Blue Cross. You can address that with Blue Cross and they will go back and fix it, but it has to be addressed. Anyone else have anything going on in their state?
Fran had made a point, and she said we need to ask HAFA to ask for commissions to be mandated by CMS, like Medicare Advantage and supplemental plans. And if an agent is certified on the exchange, then all carriers should be mandated to appoint that agent. Absolutely, one of my questions that we had last week with the marketplace with Dean. His point was we do not have the authority to mandate commissions. We do have the authority to mandate when a carrier pays for a specific plan over another plan, therefore steering people to a certain plan. They are not doing anything about that because there's not enough carriers in the exchange now and they don't want to rock the boat. He said the only way for us to mandate the commissions like Medicare Advantage is to federally mandate that. Of course, we won't know until a new president is elected whether that's even a question. He said until that point, the only thing you can do is charge an agency fee, which we know some states allow, some states don't allow. And that's one thing that we're going to work on next year is making sure that those states that do not allow for agency fee allow that. Then Fran says, can you please ask CMS to put the rates on the website by October 1st? I have clients receiving renewals, and I have no idea about the plan designer rates. Again, we've asked this question. I'm not sure if it's that they do not have the technology, and I would say that's probably the whole reason is that they can't figure out how to get it on there because the rates and the plans are submitted way in advance. But in order for them to get the marketplace to read all that is another thing. But we did ask them. Greg said, can we talk a little bit about fees? I think that I did talk a little bit about fees. That is the only way at this point that HAFA sees that we can make up for the commissions that we've lost. Of course, with the conversation, as I said, we had this morning, not only does CMS, but there are state legislators, not legislators, state employees that think that we do not bring value to the market. They think that we sell an exchange product and we do nothing after that. I said, what happens after that 12 months? What about the claims that we fix? What about the ones that make doctor's appointments or check prescription prices? We do a lot more, and I think it's about time we threw that in their face. We've been nice about it. We've tried to, tell them how nicely we help people, but it's about time we just list it all. This is what we do. This is why we deserve to be paid, period. We've been dancing around it, being nice. Nice is not working. Jeff Miles from Tennessee/California said Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee just withdrew from the exchange in the 3 large metro markets. Also, while we were in D.C., we learned that Arizona is in a couple of their counties are only selling catastrophic plans. Crazy things are happening. Certain states only have 1 carrier. I mean, it's just, the whole thing is just demolishing in front of our faces. Fran says she helps with claims, premiums, Medicaid, and helps with special enrollment periods, even when she's not paid. And that's another thing. Another thing I said this morning, another thing the other lobbyist said this morning, and another thing we need to say, again, loud and proud. There are so many things that agents do, and we do not get paid. I mean, this is ridiculous that our state government and our federal government and CMS doesn't believe that our profession deserves to be paid, nor that the consumer deserves a choice, that they deserve to choose us or not. So if you can tell that I'm a little fired up more than usual, I'm pretty fired up today. The way we are being treated is totally unfair, and we need more members. I need a bigger army. I need more money. I'm doing the best I can, but we have got to have more people. So y'all have got to help me get the word out. Greg says we educate, we reduce concern, we put people in the best plans, we give people peace of mind, and we improve outcomes. Absolutely. Steve, one of our new members, says billing issues are always a concern that the agent has to get involved with fixing. Absolutely. How many times do people get billed the wrong amount, or we sent in their income information and the CMS never got it? It's just ridiculous, the things that we do. Sometimes we work hours and hours and hours for $12 a month. No other profession, including all the attorneys that are up there fighting us, are paid more than $12 an hour. Fran says perhaps Congress wants the agents out, so there is no one to help the client. So they are off to a single payer with navigators and more government agencies. Like Trish said, absolutely, Dean from the marketplace admitted that the first 2 years they went out of their way to remove the agents. They have since realized agents and brokers are the boots on the ground and they need us. Now we're a bit screwed because carriers aren't paying us, but they know we're important. They know we need to be involved, and now they're trying to make a little bit of a change. Dean is actually the agent and broker liaison. That's why he's saying put your money where your mouth is. You've got a problem, you tell me. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bombard him with our problems, and we're going to let him know exactly what's happening to us, boots on the ground. Greg again says sometimes, many times we work for free. Absolutely. And Fran says CMS is afraid of a lawsuit, I think. I've been wanting to sue somebody for so long. If I could just find somebody, it would just, they'd have to work for free because we don't have any money. We're nonprofit. But somebody is creating an unfair playing field, and somebody is trying to put us out of business, and somebody has replaced us with navigators, and somebody called CMS is giving them $69 million again this year to replace our jobs. So now that I've ranted and raved, I hope that there's someone that wants to share a little bit about what's going on in your state. Fran says that they're merely a conduit between the consumer and the insurance company. Basically, they're helping, and we're not. Let's see. If Dan wants to, raise your hand, Dan, if you want to talk about Georgia, Dorothy about Florida, Texas in the house, Pennsylvania's in the house, Louisiana's in the house. Does anybody want to just talk about what's going on in your state instead of talking to me through the chat room? Just raise your hand, and I will unmute you. Bridget's going to have to pull the mic out of my tense fingers.
Okay. We don't have anyone that
Oh, we have
Fran. Fran, we're going to unmute you. Go, Fran.
Hey, Renelle, it's good to hear your voice. Nice seeing you last week.
Good to see you.
What I'm seeing in our area is with our co-op, is that they're in arms and tried to sue. This is Evergreen Co-op, tried to sue CMS. They lost. This is over the risk adjustment corridor. Today, I was at the Innovation Health mandatory meeting for the 170 brokers in our area. I'm always worried they're going to nix me off of there, but they better not. I'm listed as a chairman's level agent with them. And they basically said that they want people to go to the doctor so that they can find out what is wrong with a person, so that they can submit their risk adjustment information to CMS so that they can get paid more under the risk adjustment. Our local Blue Cross Blue Shield carrier received $48 million from Kaiser, $21 million from Evergreen, our startup co-op. Innovation, which has only been in business 3 years, what I think he said they paid $13 million to Care First, which is the Blue Cross Blue Shield in our area that has, I've heard, about 80% of the market share. So what I'm starting to see the carriers do now is to try to figure out how they can up their perceived claims, send it to CMS, and then have the other carriers reimburse them. But what I think is going on is every time CMS is given that information, that allows CMS to continue to build a model for the single payer. I don't know that there's anything we can do about it, but I think that's, and I've said this all along, that's where this is going, is claims and data retrieving information, and now under these risk adjustment corridors, the CMS is being told these are our claims, so now we have to reimburse this carrier from that carrier to even everything out. But I think it's all claims, reviewing claims on a large basis. So that's just what I see going on around here. And the limiting of the number of agents that can sell a product really concerns me, because if you do one thing to annoy that carrier, they might just say, forget it, you're out of here. And that's got to be discriminatory at some level.
Thank you, Fran. And Fran is from Maryland, Virginia. I did get an email from, and I'm not sure what state, so forgive me, but it was one of our members who the rules said that they had to write 10 plans, and he wrote 10 plans, but they said he wrote 7 plans. So we went back and said, here's my 10 plans. And then they came back and said, well, it's our discretion not to renew your contract. Something's got to be wrong. Something's got to change. We have turned that situation over to CMS. I was assuming that maybe the Department of Insurance could address that. They said the Department of Insurance wouldn't, and then we were back to the CMS. So any problems that you have, please send it to HAFA.
Okay, any other state want to discuss anything? Any hands up? Nobody? Okay. Anyone have, is that a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Just a little update on Louisiana. We're actually building back and doing well, and I think most of our agents that's been affected by the flood are doing pretty well. And I personally appreciate all of the emails and people concerned with us. I truly, truly appreciate it, because I was affected, as well as I believe Trish and
Sandy.
And Sandy Davis, Trish Freeman, and myself. I think all 3 of us lost our houses.
Yeah, several members lost.
Yeah, so we truly appreciate y'all's prayers, and thank you so much for, I've been contacted by several people, and I truly appreciate it. So if there's nothing else, we will adjourn this meeting and take it up next month.
Thank y'all so much. Keep the passion. Thank you for joining us. Send me your thoughts of being, why agents are important. And I want to thank Bridget for her house is torn down, but she's here fighting the fight. So y'all take care. Have a wonderful week and stay in touch.